"It's not getting any better," said Nick as he sunk into the kitchen chair. "I can't find anything, and the way they do things doesn't make sense." Emma, his wife, sighed. "Alex seems okay, but he's supposed to be my manager, and I've only spoken to him once in the 3 days since I've started," Nick groaned, then got up and stared out the window. "Maybe you should have taken the other job in Newtown. The salary was almost the same," Emma replied. Emma's comment didn't help Nick, and he snapped back at her. "Have a play around with the software," they said. "I don't even know what I'm supposed to be working on. It's so—" He paused, took a deep breath, and looked back out the window as if he was trying to find the words. "It's so different from the interview. It's like once you've signed the contract and get hired, they just don't care anymore." Emma didn't want to get snapped at again, so she took a long pause before saying, "So what should you do?" Nick turned, looked at her, and replied solemnly, "I don't know. It's not getting any better." 6 months later, these initial frustrations would become too much for Nick. Despite wanting to succeed and being more than capable of doing so, Nick would end up resigning. He told his boss Alex that he'd received an offer from another firm that he couldn't refuse. But the real reason was his frustration at not knowing how to succeed in Alex's firm. He'd been looking for a new job for several months by the time he resigned because he knew it wouldn't get any better. In my time in business, I've seen too many bosses like Alex lose promising employees like Nick. Over time, this has disastrous effects in terms of wasted resources, reduced productivity, and unrealized business outcomes, not to mention the stress and anguish it creates for both employees and managers. I wrote this book because I don't want you to be like Nick's boss, Alex. Instead, I want to equip you with the tools and knowledge you need to make your new hires valuable, productive, and effective team members fast. By the end of this book, you will know exactly what to do to help each new hire succeed in their new role. You will comprehend the staggering cost of ineffective onboarding and how to fix it. This book will provide you with a practical and straightforward toolset for any manager in your business to ensure your next hire has the best chance of succeeding. And if you've hired the wrong person, you will find out quickly and be able to act much faster. I've been helping leadership teams build great companies for over a dozen years. Before that, I was an entrepreneur in one way or another for more than 15 years. During this time, I learned that the first and most important rule of building a great company is getting the right people in the right seats and doing the right things in the right way. Everything else you want to achieve, any strategy, project, mission, or initiative, will struggle to succeed if you don't get that first rule right. And so when hiring is done well, it should get the right people in the right seats. But onboarding is the missing piece of the puzzle. Onboarding takes those right people who are in the right seats from hiring and gets them to do the right things in the right way. I also realize that the first rule of building a great company presents many important questions for leaders, and that most of those questions are answered with effective onboarding. Over many years, this led me to develop and evolve a process to enable managers to confidently ensure that any new hire is the right person in the right seat, doing the right things in the right way. I call this the onboarding sprint plan, and I'll take you through it later in this book.